crashes in a storm. We become the whole in time. For you I would pick the silver apples of the moon and string them on a lantern line. Attic films of Super 8 that flicker on the wall. We can watch the rise and fall. Hold my feet to the fire I need to feel something true. Morning comes around. Meet me where the shadows bloom in corners out of sight, sweating from the swollen summer air. Winding lines and tangled eyes and branches in a storm. We become the whole in time. Hold my feet to the fire I need to feel something true. Morning comes around. I'm Peter Adams, and welcome to Earphoria. So my first musical memory was probably when I was 3 or 4. My dad, who's a music teacher, came home with a violin and some other instrument. I don't even remember what it was, and he had me pick one or the other. And for whatever reason, I picked the violin, and so he started me on lessons. And ever since then, I've been playing one musical instrument or another. And I had the great benefit of having a parent who made sure I got lessons and practiced and all that stuff. Even though I didn't like it at the time, it really paid off in the end. I don't see so much. Well, I mean, my dad's influence is there, and just in the fact that I'm making a living from music. But he's like an opera singer, and he's more in the classical academic realm. And while I love to listen to that type of stuff, I've never had the skill to go that route, nor really the inclination. I've always been more interested in more the pop aspect of music and doing my own thing like that. Like all growing up through high school, I was taking violin lessons and playing the orchestra, and I never really enjoyed that very much. So music was not really on my radar. Actually, during all that time, I really wanted to be a movie director, and actually went to school initially for film. And it was right before I left for college that I started to write songs and record them myself on my computer and try to, I mean, at first it wasn't any kind of career choice, it was just something to do for fun. And it kind of just slowly built up, and I started getting positive feedback from it and started to get the crazy idea that maybe I could actually make a living doing that, and that kind of spurred me on even more, and it just kind of grew naturally like that. The very first song I ever wrote, I remember when I took piano lessons for a few years when I was younger, I would like compose little piano songs and like show them excitedly to my teacher. They were really simple little things. I had like a computer program that you could notate and then it would play it back. So they were full of like really like crazy like 16th note arpeggios like going everywhere. They weren't really possible to for a human to play. I just like the idea of being able to write something and play it back and hear it. The influence of electronic music is mostly evident in just like the way I go about writing, recording. Like I use a computer, I use a digital, like a program, a multi-track program. So I'm able to like record one track and go back and put something over it and go and cut and edit stuff. I've never really gotten into, really heavy synthesizer, like trying to make. I mean, I'm still like recording acoustic instruments, so it's not like I'm creating a wholly synthetic environment, but I always like to kind of have a little bit of that also, because I think it's a good mixture of, having violin or acoustic guitar and then some kind of other, synth or kind of otherworldly sounds going on also. It's very uphill to try to make a career out of music, and so you have to really be dedicated and love it. And I think for me, the real impetus is the ability to just kind of create my own world and my own space and a whole alternate place where I can go. And I don't know why it is that I feel the need to do that, but it's there and I can't really ignore it. If I was doing something else and not doing this, I would really be uncomfortable and feel like I wasn't really doing what I was supposed to do. So it's really that. I mean, at all the times where I'm like, stuck in traffic trying to drive to a show somewhere, or like dealing with a bad performance or something, and all the like real low points, I never really get discouraged about it because that's always there, and I know I can still just go home and write a new song. There's something that's going to come out of it, Every song that I put on an album is like that. I'm very self-critical. I mean, I probably have several albums worth of songs that are kind of half finished or maybe all the way finished, and they don't do it. They didn't accomplish what I wanted to do. So I'm very like methodical and slow to write songs, and especially the lyrics. The lyrics take me far longer than writing the actual music. Like I could come up with a song just going, la la la, pretty much in like an hour, and then it's writing the lyrics where I feel a strong pressure to like have something specific in mind, but the words just aren't coming. I guess it's writer's block, like most people probably experience that. So I try to, that's kind of the threshold of quality. If it doesn't give me the feeling of that kind of inner world or specialness, then I just scrap the song and start something else. Or I shelve the song, I'll like a part of the song, like maybe I'll like the bridge, but the rest of it's not coming. So a year later, I'll be writing something, I'll get a good verse going, get some lyrics, and I'll think, what can I do now? Oh, there's this part from that old song that I didn't end up using, so I'll put it in this one. So there's a lot of mixing and matching that goes on. A lot of my lyrics are inspired by kind of just a handful of things. They're either memories of my childhood or dreams, or kind of a mixture of the two where I can't differentiate if I'm remembering something as it happened or if it's kind of mixed up with other dreams of it. But then in addition to that, I'm fascinated by science and especially evolution, which I find to be it's real on one hand, but it's just extraordinary, and it's just inspiring to, like, I get inspired reading like scientific books, which is kind of nerdy, but at the same time, like, everybody goes through those questions of, like, who are we? Like, what are humans? What are we doing? What is life? What is all this stuff going on? And some people, go the religious route or the philosophical route, and I've always found a lot of solace for some reason in the idea of evolution everything is related. You know, you can pick out a tree in your yard, and if you go back far enough, great, however many grandparents, you have a relative with that tree. Maybe a good example of that from my first album, The Spiralize, is a song called The Disappeared, which is kind of, it doesn't have a specific theme, but there are thoughts of, you know, questions of religion and evolution and meaning in that song, kind of obliquely and cryptically mentioned throughout. Yeah. I might be able to get it, but I might need it. Well, these days my musical listening choices they're really varied. I'm kind of in the past year I've been delving more into not classical music exactly, but kind of contemporary. I don't know what you want to call it, like art music, the kind that you go to a music hall to hear, but more like avant-garde. I'm really into the minimalist composers, like John Adams is a really big influence, and Philip Glass and Steve Reich. And in terms of pop music, I I like I just can't get past the like Radiohead and the bands I've been listening to for years. The Elephant Six collective type groups like of Montreal and Elf Power and Neutral Milk Hotel, Olivia Tremor Control, other bands like Sigur Rós. Those are always kind of constantly coming back on my iTunes. For covers, I've always, since I started performing with a band, done In the Airplane Over the Sea by Neutral Milk Hotel, which is from the album of the same name. And actually, about a month and a half ago, at the end of February, which was, I think it was like maybe the 9-year anniversary of that album, we got the crazy idea to try to cover the entire album, my band. And I don't think we realized how much work it was going to be, but we did it and had a special performance, and we had a huge crowd come out. I mean, I knew there was going to be a big crowd because it's kind of grown into a cult album, and I didn't realize, like, I thought I knew the lyrics, but there are so many lyrics in that album. I just had to like memorize all of them, and I knew there were going to be so many people there who knew the album perfectly and would like immediately jump if I like messed up one of the sacred lyrics or something like that. So it was a lot of work, but it went very well. So I pretty much got that album completely in my head, but I still like playing In the Airplane Over the Sea. So I'll give that to you right now.